Now we're talking about world-class numbers. 22 goals and 20 assists. That's world-class numbers. 42 goal contributions in 52 games. Now we're talking about the elite of football players. He already has the talent. He can already dribble and all that flair, which he was showing even from his first year. But now he improves his physical stature. He's stronger. He improves his finishing, and his productivity blossoms. Okay, back again with another video from my boy Nabuto. We've talked about Kvaratskhelia. Now it's time to talk about Vini Jr. And the people said on the PC Footy podcast, he may be the best player in La Liga, best player in Real Madrid. So yeah, without wasting any more time, guys, we're gonna react to Vinicius Jr., the ups and downs so far in his career, and hopefully, this season, Vini can finish a bit higher than he did in the Ballon d'Or. He finished 7th last year. I think that this year, Vini kind of has solidified his spot within the top 5. But yeah, without wasting any more time, guys, let's get straight into it.
Vinicius Jr. is definitely the best winger in the world right now. His journey...
It's what I'm saying, bro, already. He starts hot. The best winger in the world. That's a statement. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying that's a massive statement. And for Vini to even be in that conversation where he was like 2019, like the criticisms for Vini in 2019 and 2020 were disgusting. Like then that video came up with, with Benzema saying, "Oh, the impossible to that guy. He's playing against us." All of these things for now us to be in a position where he's in the conversation of being the best winger in the world. And now with my boy Nabuto saying he is the best. Come on, bro. Vini has stepped up.
journey to this point has been inspiring too, with him coming from humble beginnings in Brazil to then him signing for the biggest club in the world, Real Madrid. However, even though Vinicius is killing it right now, his time at Real Madrid hasn't been so smooth. In his earlier years, he missed a ton of easy chances and also had the legendary Karim Benzema telling his teammates to not pass the ball to Vinicius due to him playing against us during a game. So, how did Vinicius Jr. go from being an exciting Brazilian prospect to a player his Real Madrid teammates didn't want to play with, to then becoming the best winger in the world right now? Well, let's take a look at the
hard work. Vini did that by hard work. Because I've been a Vini fan since he came to Real Madrid. I've been a Vini fan. He should have been mentored by the great Cristiano Ronaldo. Unfortunately, Ronaldo and Florentino Perez had a fallen down, so Vini had to go to Ronaldo had to go to Juventus, which left Vini to pretty much do all that, not by himself, but it definitely left a bigger burden. It also didn't help by the fact that Eden Hazard was a complete cone at Real Madrid. So there was a lot of expectation on Vini's shoulders on the biggest club in the world. And if you go back, and I was talking about this with my boy Yusuf in the PC Footy podcast, Vini put in a lot of work. This man was in the gym. He was training as hard as he could. He improved his finishing, his understanding of the game. That's what has gotten him to this level. Hard work. And he deserves everything that he's getting right now.
Rise, fall, and rise again of Vinicius Jr.'s career. Vinicius was born and raised in the poorest section of São Gonçalo, an area in Rio de Janeiro. He and his family basically had nothing, with his father and grandfather not even having a job. However, his family quickly realized that Vinicius had a God-gifted talent in football, and he joined one of the biggest clubs in Brazil, Flamengo, at just 10 years old. Even when he was a kid, he stood out with his joyful playing style. Vinicius Jr.'s talent then helped him ascend quickly through the youth ranks in the Flamengo Academy, and then in 2017, during the prestigious Brazilian youth tournament called Copa Sao Paulo, everything changed. The Copa Sao Paulo tournament, Brazilian talent played in this competition before, like Casemiro, Lucas Moura, Gabriel Jesus, and of course Neymar Jr. Here's the thing though. Vinicius played at this tournament at just 16 years old, meaning he was playing against players that were 3 years older than him. However, Vinicius still stole the show and lit up the tournament, scoring great goals and displaying his extraordinary skills. These performances from Vinicius then led him to be called up to the Brazilian national team for the South American Under-17 Football Championship. And Vinicius continued to dominate his opponents, with him being the tournament's top goal scorer and also was named the best player in the competition. Vinicius was...
You love to see it. You love to see it. From the poorest side of Rio de Janeiro, which is already has one of the poorest favelas in the whole of Brazil. If you know, you know. For him to come up this far at the age of 17, there's no way you can't support this guy, unless you're a true hater. There's no way you can't support him and wish success upon Vini.
Was making a huge name for himself in the football scene in Brazil, and European teams started to take notice. Vinicius was then left with the choice between the two biggest clubs in the world, Real Madrid and FC Barcelona. However, it didn't take long for Real Madrid to get.
And he chose the right club. And he chose the right club. We know that once. He chose the right club.
Vinicius to join them instead, and that's when Real Madrid agreed a €45 million deal with Flamengo before Vinicius even made his professional senior debut for the Brazilian club. However, due to the fact that Vinicius was younger than 18 and had no way of getting a European passport, he had to stay with Flamengo until he was old enough in July 2018. Until then, he played for the Flamengo senior team and continued to show why Real Madrid splashed the cash on a young Brazilian star like him. In his first senior season with Flamengo, he only managed to get 4 goals and 1 assist in 32 games. Remember, Vinicius is still very young and arguably playing for the best club in Brazil, so he isn't going to kill it right away. In the following 17-18 season for Vinicius, his stats improved with him getting 6 goals and 3 assists in 17 games. He also scored a couple of goals in Copa Libertadores, which is basically the Champions League in South America, so it's a super prestigious and historic tournament. Then July 2018 came and Vinicius completed the move to Real Madrid at the young.
And that's the thing, July 2018, if you know ball, what also happened in 2018 summer? Ronaldo left. When Florentino Perez and the guys were planning this move, he was meant to come in and be Ronaldo's understudy, maybe play for, what's it called? Castellina, Real Madrid's B team. He was meant to come up through there. But the amount of pressure that he was put under, already, he wasn't really doing his numbers at Flamengo already. So coming to Real Madrid, people had massive expectations for him. And of course, he underperformed. But then, we're going to come up as we go through the video. The man came through. That's the most important part. It's always about the comeback.
Young age of 18 years old. He was supposed to be integrated into the Real Madrid squad pretty slowly, considering he was so young and raw. However, with Cristiano Ronaldo leaving for Juventus, Real Madrid were deprived of a left winger. Hence why Vinicius Jr. was then thrown into main team action.
Bro, come on. I've not watched this video. It's just, if you know ball, you know ball. That's all I'm saying.
And played a lot more than initially expected. And for his first season playing in a European league, he did pretty well. During this terrible season for Real Madrid, Vinicius was often seen as the bright spark of the team. Yeah. And this was due to his amazing trickery and his insane dribbling skills. Even when
he was a shine of hope, but go look at his numbers. A team like Real Madrid that's trying to win trophies, you need to put up these numbers, and he wasn't. Again, the skills and stuff is all nice, it's all shiny and pretty, but Real Madrid are the club that care all about trophies.
Real Madrid were losing games, Vinicius was always seen as a player that could bring something to life during the match. He was so threatening down that left-hand side that a lot of coaches had to adjust their tactics just to find a way to contain Vinicius. He kind of had that Neymar aura about him when Ney was still at Barcelona. Now, although Vinicius was showcasing his amazing dribbling ability, his greatest flaw was revealed too, and that was the fact that Vinicius couldn't score goals if his life depended on it. His composure in front of goal was terrible, and he often missed chances that he could have buried. And although he had 7 goals and 13 assists in 36 games in total, he only had 1 singular goal in La Liga,
which is not too bad. 20 goal contribution is not too bad, but 1 goal in La Liga?
And before he got the chance to score more, his season was finished due to injury. It was clear to football fans that Vinicius Jr. had Neymar-like talent, but if he never improved on his finishing, he was never going to be a top player for the club. Now, for the next couple of seasons with Zinedine Zidane as manager, he never really improved on that finishing. Yes, his stats improved slightly in the 1920 season, with him getting 5 goals and 4 assists in 38 games, but his finishing didn't improve that much. I mean, when he scored his first goal of the season against Osasuna, he broke down in tears, showing how much that goal meant to him and how it was an emotional moment. But, and this might be a little cruel, but an elite winger who scores goals on the regular wouldn't tear up about scoring his first goal of the season. Scoring goals should just be a pretty regular occurrence for elite wingers, which for Vinicius, it wasn't. Then in the following 2021 season, in Zidane's last season as coach, Vinicius still failed to be a consistent starter and only managed to get 6 goals and 7 assists in 49 games. And then the lowest and probably the most embarrassing point of Vinicius' career happened in the Champions League clash against Borussia Mönchengladbach, when Madrid were down 2-0. After coming out from the locker room at halftime, Karim Benzema was spotted speaking to teammate Ferland Mendy, saying, "Don't pass the ball to Vinicius. On my mother's life, he's playing against us." Despite this,
"On my mother's life" is crazy. "On my mother's life" is crazy. To say something like that is crazy. But he meant it. He meant it with his chest. That's why he said that. Because Vini, he was playing midi.
being embarrassing for Vinicius, the fans didn't really back him up. In fact, they agreed with Benzema, since it was extremely evident that Vinicius had almost zero end product and composure, and Real Madrid fans were clearly getting frustrated with that. Fans around the world always compared Vinicius to Neymar due to both having extreme talent in dribbling and having flair. However, one thing that everyone agreed with at the time was Vinicius could never be on Neymar's level, because unlike him, Vini couldn't score goals. And although Vinicius still had iconic moments in the 2021 season, like scoring 2 goals against my beloved Liverpool to knock them out in the quarterfinals, overall, Vinicius still had a pretty stinky season. However, in the 21-22 campaign, everything changed for Vinicius Jr. and in a positive way. But real quick, before we talk about that, please remember to subscribe to my channel.
Yeah,
I really
subscribe to Nabuto, bro. This guy's making some good content.
Appreciate it, and it means a lot, so thank you. Anyways, back to topic. Zinedine Zidane was no longer going to be the coach of Real Madrid, and instead it was Carlo Ancelotti, who was an ex-Real Madrid coach who had already won it all with the club. In the first game of the season against Alaves for the
He didn't win the La Liga. He was Champions League, did win the La Liga.
1-22 season, Ancelotti decided to start his more experienced players and players he already knew, like Modric, Casemiro, Gareth Bale, Eden Hazard, etc. Vinicius was sadly stuck to the bench. However, when he came into the game, he scored a calm and composed finish against the Alaves side to comfortably beat them 4-1. A few eyebrows were raised from Real Madrid fans because Vinicius never had this composure in his locker before. However, maybe this was a once in a blue moon thing for Vinicius. He couldn't repeat this, right? Wrong, because in the very next game against Levante, Vinicius came off the bench and scored a brace with some incredible finishes for the goal, and this helped secure a 3-3 draw. More importantly, this convinced Ancelotti to start Vinicius instead of Hazard, and Vini has not looked back since. It was clear.
Hazard. Who's Hazard? Who is Hazard? Come on now, Vini put
that
the guy in his
Vinicius was
place.
putting in the work during preseason and summer break to improve his finishing, and now Vini is reaping the benefits of his hard work. Vinicius also had iconic moments in this season as well. He scored his first hat-trick for Real Madrid in a 6-0 win over Levante towards the end of the season. He also obviously played an integral part in helping Real Madrid win La Liga. He outperformed his expected goals that season by 3.9 goals, with him getting 17 instead of the 13.1 that was expected of him.
Bro, going from what was it, 5 goals to 17? That's tough.
And overall in that season, Vinicius Jr. ended up getting 22 goals and 20 assists in 50.
Now we're talking about world-class numbers. 22 goals and 20 assists. That's world-class numbers. 42 goal contributions in 52 games. Now we're talking about the elite of football players. He already has the talent. He can already dribble and, you know, all that flair, which he was showing even from his first year. But now he improved his physical stature. He's stronger. He improved his finishing, and his productivity blossomed. Now we can have conversations, or at least at that point we could then begin to have conversations about Vini being one of the best players in the world. Because that's what it takes, you know what I'm saying? And really has been kind of screwed up by Messi and Ronaldo, because the numbers they were putting up like kind of threw shade on everyone else. And if you wanted to be in that conversation, you have to put up these type of numbers.
2 games, an amazing improvement from his previous seasons. In fact, Vini
Neymar, Suarez as well, Harry Kane, Lewandowski, all them guys
got more goals in the 21-22 season than the rest of his seasons at Real Madrid combined. More importantly though, Vinicius Jr. got one of the most important goals in Real Madrid history, with the Spanish club defeating my beloved Liverpool again in the Champions League final.
Great moment. Great moment, man. Great moment. I remember watching this game, and when Vini scored, I went crazy. I was so happy for him. So happy.
1-0, with Vinicius scoring the ultimate goal. This helped Real Madrid win their 14th Champions League title, and also helped edge Vinicius into Real Madrid history forever. Vinicius performed so well that Karim Benzema retracted his statement from the previous season, saying that what he said gave Vinicius motivation to improve his game, and now he's not the same player as he once was before. Vinicius took what Benzema said about him and used it as motivation instead of being butthurt about it. You gotta respect that. It also doesn't seem like the 21-22 season was a purple patch for Vinicius Jr., because he's having a similar output this season as well. At the time of me recording this, he already has 21 goals and 17 assists in 4.
And this is where greatness happens. Any player can have a good season. Once you can begin to back that up with back-to-back years, and in my opinion, I say a lot of players have another 7 good years on them. I think Vini has another 10 good years on him. He's not even 23 yet. It's crazy. Vini, if he carries on like this, the conversations we'll be having about this guy,
46 games, putting up similar numbers just like I said. He's helping Real Madrid try and go back-to-back in the Champions League, with him getting goals and assists in almost every single Champions League game so far. And he also scored 2 goals against my club Liverpool in the round of 16. Bro, Vinicius, chill out, bro. Leave my club alone. That's not it though, because Vinicius' assist in the UEFA Super Cup helped Real Madrid beat Frankfurt 2-0. He also played a part in Real Madrid winning the Club World Cup, with Vinicius scoring a brace in a 5-3 win over Al Hilal in the final, which helped them win the tournament's Best Player award. Vinicius has reached a level where instead of people criticizing him for not scoring goals, they're now starting to criticize him for dancing in the celebrations. That's how you know you're becoming a menace on the pitch. Vinny received a ton of racist abuse for his dancing as well, especially from Atletico Madrid fans, but that won't stop him from dancing on. Vinny got that Brazilian swagger in him, bro. Obviously, he's gonna keep on dancing, and rightly so. Oh, and speaking about Brazil though, his performances for Real Madrid got him called up in the 26-man roster for the World Cup in Qatar, and he had a pretty impressive tournament despite Brazil disappointing as favorites. He got an assist in a crucial 2-0 win over Serbia in the group stages, and also scored a goal and got an assist against South Korea in the round of 16. Croatia then knocked Brazil out in the quarterfinals, but Vinicius had little to do with that. Overall, it was clear since day one that Vinicius Jr. had all the talent in the world to be one of the world's best. All that was needed was for him to improve his finishing, which he did at his most recent years at Real Madrid. He didn't stop believing in himself and continued to put in those extra hours of work, and through perseverance, he's truly become a superstar. People talk about Kylian Mbappe this, Erling Haaland that, but I believe Vinicius should be in those conversations as well, because in my eyes, he definitely has the talent to win the Ballon d'Or in the future. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to subscribe.
That's the facts. Like, Vinicius is now in the same tier as Mbappe and Haaland, in my most humble opinion. Another player that I think could have been in the conversations, or in those conversations, is João Felix. However, the difference between João Felix and Vinicius Jr. is that Vinicius Jr., when the going got tough, he improved. João Felix, when the going got tough, didn't do anything. His game stayed the same. Felix is also extremely talented. I think he's one of the most talented players in the world. But Felix never truly improved his game. At least not to the same degree to put him in a world-class standard like Vini has. When you have world-class talent, a lot of players have had world-class talent over the years, but your ability to execute and to improve is what matters most. Thank you very much for watching the video until the end, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more reactions. Subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys soon.